My name is Andrea Donovan, Director of Safety First Training. We're looking at pushing and pulling, putting loads on a trolley and moving them by pushing and pulling them. It's certainly a good idea to put heavy loads on a trolley because it's obviously much easier to use them, but there are certain precautions that we need to take. And the first is to realise that now that you have a trolley, it has become the load, so you need to make sure that you assess it. Are the wheels in good condition? Are the brakes off? If we have a load on the trolley, is that all stable and not likely to fall? And also we've got to make sure that we look after our hands as well if we're going in narrow spaces. If you have a choice, pushing is better than pulling. And the reason for that is you've got much more power, you can use your legs much better, you can see where you're going, and finally when you're pulling there is an increased risk of twisting. So we're going to get into position, and again we're going to use our principles. So we're going to check that the area, there's no obstacles in the way. We're going to check that the load is within our capabilities, that we can actually move the load that we've got. We're going to get a broad base, and this time we're in a step stand position where we're moving our weight from one leg to the other. So the back doesn't move, the only thing doing the work is the legs. We get our good palmar grip, and then without locking the arms, we keep the arms straight because we want to use our legs, not our arms, to do the work. And we're just going to lunge forward as we lift and then stop with the legs. Pulling then, we need to make sure that we look behind us before we pull, because if we pull as we're moving and look behind, we could end up twisting. So we're happy that there's nothing in the way. This time we're going to just get our grip again, and then we're going to just use our legs as we pull the load back. If we want to turn then, we're going to face the load, and rather than twisting, moving our feet in that direction, we're going to stay facing the load, and we're going to take a step sideways so that the back stays straight all the time as we turn and change position. So in summary then, we're saying that pushing and pulling using a trolley is a good thing to do, but just make sure that you don't just assume that the trolley is going to be suitable. It still needs to be assessed. If you do need to push and pull, ideally push, because you've got much more power, you can see where you're going, and there's less risk of twisting. Always make sure that the load is within your capabilities, and always ensure that you use the 8 principles of lifting.